Good day, everyone. We are the Group 5 from BSMLS Main 1, and we're here to give you such information about studying Research 2. At the end of the lesson, students will gather more information from the research, summarize and cite information. What do you think is the basis of a research paper as a piece of an academic writing? Most often, zero is based on author's research on particular topic and the analysis and interpretation of its findings. Let's get to know research more today. In studying research too, there are three ways incorporating other writers' work into your own writing. Can vary in approach depending on the closeness of your writing to the source. So, there are three ways of how studying research too should be applied properly. Quotations, paraphrasing, summarizing. First is quotation. Quotation must be identical to the original using a narrow segment of the source. They must match the source document word for word and must be attributed to the original author. Quotation in research is somewhat similar to plagiarism. You take someone else's expressions, statements, and words, then you use it as your own. Usually, the difference is just you put the quotation mark or give acknowledgement to the original author. Basically, this is simply using another person's ideas, opinions, facts, and statements. Two main types of quotes, direct and indirect. Direct. A direct quote is when you take text directly from a source without changing anything. Direct quotes often sum up exactly the point you're trying to make and deep the further explanation. Example, direct is when you research an idea, then you paste it in your own paper and use it for your own cause. Indirect. An indirect quote is when you paraphrase ideas from a source. They're useful when the main idea is important, but the quote itself is too long or complex. You don't use quotation marks for this. Example, indirect is when you find something on the internet for research, then you paraphrase it, sometimes by using Killbot on your own words. So, there are two main types of quoting. The first one is basically plagiarism or illegally copying one statement to use it as their own. But sometimes, it is used with quotation marks to avoid plagiarism, while on the other hand, there is indirect quoting wherein they will paraphrase the words in sentence or statement to change a few words but not the whole meaning of the point. Simply change some words to avoid plagiarism. So now, let's proceed to our next plate.
Thank you, Ms. Sophia. What is paraphrasing? In terms of paraphrasing, it involves putting a passage from source materials into your own words. A paraphrase must be also attributed to the original source. Paraphrase materials is usually shorter than the original passage, taking a somewhat broader segment of the source and considering it slightly. There are four ways of paraphrasing. The first one, take time to read. It is essential to read and understand what's the point. Number two, take note of the keynotes, highlighting the points widely presented. While reading, take down notes the main words that can fit on the sentence. Number three, rewrite what you have read but use your own words. Think carefully about the most appropriate words. Number 4. Compare what have written with the original text to see similarities and differences. At last, you will see the difference about how you paraphrase a sentence with different words but same meaning. Based on my own perspective, when we say paraphrasing, it expresses the meaning of the writer or speaker or something written or spoken using different words, especially to achieve greater activity. Here are examples of sentences that you will paraphrase. I need to go to the grocery store to buy some food. When we paraphrase it, the sentence will be, I have to visit the supermarket in order to purchase groceries. So now, let's proceed to our final part.
Thank you, Kim. Now let's move on to our next topic. Our next topic is summarizing. So, what is summarizing? Summarizing involves putting the main ideas into your own words, including only the main points. So once again, it is necessary to attribute summarized ideas to the original source. Summaries are significantly shorter than the original and take a broad overview of the source material. So based on the information, summarizing is providing a concise and condensed version of the main ideas from the source text in your own words. This is often used for longer passages and it helps you present the key points without including extensive details. Like with paraphrasing, you should acknowledge the source when summarizing. Let me give you an example of summarizing. Summarizing is much like stating the plot of a movie. For example, if you were to summarize the story of the movie Life of Pi, you might say it's a story about an Indian boy who becomes lost at sea after a shipwreck, who finds himself struggling for survival against the torrential ocean with his only companion, a Bengal tiger. Now that I discussed summarizing, let's proceed to step to summarize. There is 3 steps to summarize. The first one is read. To read means you must comprehend the text. It allows reader to extract or construct meaning from the written word. To better read the text, you might read the text more than once. Reading the text more than once, you're more likely to remember the information, and it's to make sure that you understood the text. The next one is read to get familiar with topic and read for enjoyment. Reading serves different purposes, and people engage in reading for various reasons. Reading can be a way to unwind and relax. Engaging in a good book or captivating story can offer an escape from the stress while summarizing. Next one is read out loud. Reading out loud, your brain gets the information in a new way, and you may notice things that you didn't notice before. So next one is read and make connections to what you already know. Making connections between what you are reading and what you already know is a crucial aspect of comprehension. When you actively connect new information to your existing knowledge, you enhance your understanding and create a more meaningful and memorable learning experience. So the last one is reading as a believer. Reading as a believer involves approaching a text with trust and acceptance, interpreting it through a lens of faith or conviction. On the other hand, reading as a doubter entails a more skeptical and critical perspective, questioning the content and seeking evidence or alternative interpretations. These approaches reflect different attitudes towards the material, influencing how one engages with and interprets the information presented. Now let's proceed to the second step of summarizing, which is annotation. To annotate means to write notes about the text as you read. Engage with the text by responding to and arguing with it. To annotate, you might firstly write in margins. Marginal notes can be used to summarize complex ideas or concepts in a concise form. These serve as a quick reference for the main points without having to reread the entire text. Readers can annotate and highlight crucial points, major paragraphs, or noteworthy quotes by writing in the margins. This facilitates finding and evaluating important information fast. Next is underline important parts. It helps you to look for more important information while you are reading, which helps to keep you focused on the main points or information. Important parts of a text can be underlined or highlighted to draw attention to specific information and to help readers remember important parts of it. So next is use sticky notes to make comments next to paragraph. Using sticky notes to make comments next to paragraph serves several practical and functional purposes, enhancing the reading and learning experience. The sticky notes provide a structured way to organize comments. Readers can place sticky notes next to specific paragraphs, sections, or themes creating a visual map of their thoughts and insight. And lastly, circle words you don't understand. Circle any words you don't recognize. Look them up in a dictionary and write their meanings in the margins. It helps you identify and mark the specific word or terms that you are unclear or unfamiliar to you. Now, the last step to summarize is think. To think means to analyze what you read. To analyze a text, ask yourself this question: why did the author write the text? To inform, to persuade, to entertain, to compare and contrast, are questions like sum up all: what are the facts in the text? What are the opinions? What facts backs up the opinions? What assumptions are made? Before I end this video, always to sum your summary. SUM. S stands for shorter than the text. Your summary should be considerably shorter than the source. You are hoping to create an overview, therefore, you need not include every repetition of a point or every supporting detail. U stands for use your own words. A summary should be written in your own words to avoid plagiarism by paraphrasing the author's idea. And lastly, M stands for main ideas only. You should only put main ideas in a summary, which is the most important piece of information the author wants you to know. Remember to avoid putting your opinion interpretation because it would instead become an analysis or a review. And that's all. I hope you learned something today. Thank you.